Hey guys, what's up? DeadlessDoggy here, and today is another update on what's going on. Good news is, guys, I've managed to get my computer replaced, and as well as my DS. Um, to explain the situation, like for those who are kind of new to this channel, and for those who don't know, like what happened from the last video that I've talked about, and are just now seeing this one. On the 23rd of 2019 of December, I was robbed. Specifically, basically, my electronics are gone, my two computers, my spare phone, my DS, my tablet, even my PlayStation 4 that I often use for streaming. At the moment, throughout that week, during throughout that week, I've managed to get my computer replaced first and foremost because I actually wanted to continue trying growing the channel. But lately, I have been feeling unmotivated in doing so ever since like the robbery had happened. And then shortly after, I have my DS replaced. Granted, I don't have my original game, and um, not to mention that my SD card that's in DS is gone. I have to replace those as well. Well, mainly I have to replace the game because the DS that I have uses a micro SD card. Mhm. But my computer, first and foremost, it's probably going to be a while, especially since this one will have no SD card. So I have to replace the SD card for this one, and on top of that, I would have to buy a headset that's specifically for my PC because my PlayStation 4 headset does not work well with it. On top of the subject of my computer, um, there is a program on here that's been already input. It's just like the old one, but I kind of explained it to others, especially to my friends, like Infamous and all that stuff. I explained that S mode is overprotective mode, meaning that I cannot download Steam or any other programs from other sites. I can only like find something that's related to them through the Windows Store, but the Windows Store doesn't technically have all that I need. And not to mention, it is connected to Xbox Live. So, meaning that there are certain games that I could play, but it still requires Xbox Live for me to actually play around and actually get used to. So, at the moment, as you can see, like no editing or no thumbnail. Basically, it's just like a pure out video that's not going to get glamorized because of S mode. I know I can take it off, but at this point, it's like I don't want to take it off right away unless if it like comes down to like the wire, basically, if that makes sense. Along with that, so I remember explaining that I was out with a friend that day. Now everybody in my family are starting to like slowly see him as a suspect because granted he heard of the situation of the first attempt to break in, and now the second attempt had actually like went through, and it was kind of like I don't want to like say like it's true or I'm starting to believe it, but the fact that it's um getting kind of out of hand, but it's kind of getting even more and more suspicious. And recently he wanted me to hang out with him, but I was sick at the time. I had came down with the flu, and I'm just now recovering from it. I'm still kind of recovering from it, and he's kind of like being insistent in wanting me to come out. So I almost, let's just say, basically, I almost reluctantly went out with him to hang out, but my grandma was off that day, and she basically stopped me, saying that she has to go do something. So I kind of broke it down to him. He agreed to stick around, but as he had left, Me and my grandma talked about it. She was kind of getting a little bit irritated that he doesn't get like the big picture of the situation, and basically thinks that just because she's off, that I'm free to leave the house and whatnot. But that's basically not my style because I have to take care of my grandmother despite her working, and I don't know when or if she'll end up put in for retirement. Other than that, we're still in the process of actually trying to find a house because like the neighborhood that we're in is actually a little bit too frantic, it's too dangerous despite us like uh not knowing messing with anyone, despite us like not talking to anyone else or anything. It always comes down to like someone finally having like the courage to come up and start messing with our house. And part of me, I guess you could say part of me is still kind of guilty that I left the house unattended knowing that we had to break in the first time because recently, recently, well, not recently, but during that same day, I kind of gotten like scolded, or it was at the point of being scolded. But like I said, my grandma kind of like had my back for the situation at the same time. The thing is, though, is that it's gotten to the point where my resolution just kind of like kicked off. Like on top of like being more productive for this year, I actually told myself I need to start being more outspoken. I actually needed to not easily become guilty. Like I have like a guilty conscience that's like so easy to like get to, and it kind of dampers like my mood and stuff where it kind of like puts like a strain on my mental and emotional state and all that stuff. Like yesterday, I can't help but like feel like I was responsible, but at the same time, I know it wasn't my fault. And it's like I can't help but feeling guilty. But everybody said I shouldn't, but I kind of do because my grandma's actually helped me so much. Like she has helped me so much that I can't help but worry about that. Like knowing that she needs it a lot more than I do, especially like since I've got word about her condition and all that stuff. And the thing is, along with that, that's something my friend, I guess you could say, my friend doesn't want to get, and he kind of like had this uh passive aggressive lecture towards me, and it kind of still kind of like got to me, and it's like now that even like pushes like the belief that there's something connected to him about like the break-in and all that stuff. Granted, I'm actually happy that says that he's going to take responsibility because he didn't think about it, but I just want him to actually show more action than he is letting on to say he would. Uh, but yeah, that's my resolution. I need to be more outspoken. I gotta fight this guilty conscience. I have to be more productive, especially like since I have a new computer now. Um, with me having a new computer that it's the same brand, but this time this has S mode on it, meaning that um, I can't download Steam. I can't download my video editing software. I can't download my virus protecting software. So everything is going to be from the Windows Store. Like there is a game that I actually will be willing to like try out. There's, or should I say, there's a few games I'm willing to try out because they're the only ones I kind of like find interesting. But I would like to know your guys' input. Like, should I just go ahead and just bite the bullet, take S mode off, and get my original stuff back, like my original programs and games back, or should I just ride with S mode long enough to like until like I can get my another computer, something like this, but take S mode off of it and then put all my programs back, and then just in case I'll have like a backup. But with all this that's going on, it's kind of like been draining on me. It's kind of been daunting on me. I have been unmotivated lately, and it's like I've been trying to, well, mainly, I wouldn't say try. It's more like I felt like I was forcing myself to be motivated. And then lately, like anything I'm like doing productive, it just comes out kind of like sloppy. And that's something I really need to try and ease up on doing. Because usually, there's things that I want to keep going with. Like for instance, like the channel, like recently, like with the whole Copa, Kappa, wherever you want to call it, the whole thing is like every time like it comes to like the end of a year, YouTube has to like go through something, and it's more or less a negative light, which I'm going to end up, which kind of like drove me to like being like so unmotivated, and it's like I'm just having faith like that. Hopefully, it gets fixed like it is now. I'm not too sure if it's still going on, but uh, hopefully things get like for the better, for better mainly. Yeah. On top of that, I just kind of like felt like I lost all type of motivation in order to continue, but I'm actually working on that. I'm actually improving on that. I need to get more productive. It's still kind of early in the year. I'm going to like be more focused on trying to be productive. I'm going to be more outspoken. I'm going to try and break like this antisocial streak that I have and like be more outgoing, or at least try my best to be outgoing. Like the reason why I kind of like don't feel like that is the fact like I'm more used to like in I'm more used to like being in a certain comfort zone where it's like something relative. Like let's say if I want to talk about Pokemon, I want to talk about Pokemon with someone else. Or if I want to talk about like writing stories or drawing, I want to talk about with that with someone else, stuff like that. Basically, it's kind of like out of my comfort zone, like in my town. And Infamous, my friend, he can actually agree with me on this one, like how it's rare to find like people in that kind of social circle because they be so small and so compact, like it's hard to like go out there through like other social circles that kind of like barely has like your interest. Like you'll see some talking about cars, you'll see some talking about like sports, stuff like that. That's not me. I don't like talking about cars. I don't like talking about sports. So I actually am trying to like improve, like be more outgoing, be more charismatic, not like pessimistic, more optimistic. Well, even though I am like optimistic, but at the same time, I'm trying to like push that a little bit more out. Like I said recently, the whole incident that happened December or last December, I'm still like holding out like some type of hope that we get word from the police and stuff, and hopefully we get a detective because there's a TV in another room that's still on the floor that I have yet to touch because I don't want like my fingerprints on it because they should have fingerprints on it from someone who broke in. Yeah, so basically that's the um I guess you could say that's kind of like the situa or the there's a word for it. I just can't think of it, but basically it's what I'm feeling, how like I want to like change and all that stuff. Since it's a new year, that I need to get more productive. I actually need to focus on a schedule. I need to actually like trying my best to get used to like the S mode until like I get um until like I can figure out what I want to do. Like, do I want to give it up or do I want to just uh hold on until I can get a new computer and all that stuff? Basically, that's like the whole situation at hand at the moment. Um, if I can find like some decent apps and stuff, or some decent games, decent programs that from the Windows Store that can actually help this computer through, regardless of S mode, um, I'll last with it for a little bit longer. But until then, that's kind of like a big hindrance to like me being productive. Or I know I can actually like be more productive and actually deal with it, but at the same time, it feels like it's more of a hindrance. Like it's like holding me back from like what I want to try out, what I want to play. And it's like it feels like I'm so limited with this computer, especially when they have S mode onto it. But yeah, let me know, guys. I would like to hear your feedback on it. Should I like keep S mode and run with it for a while, or should I just go ahead and drop it? And another thing is like I know there's been like a lot of people who does like Patreon and PayPal and stuff. That's not going to be me. I'm not going to do that just to get a new computer. I'm not going to do that because it just doesn't feel fair, and especially like how far, or especially like how my channel's doing right now. I really don't want to end up extend that far to doing like the PayPal Patreon kind of deal. More or less, I'll have to like just double my work efforts. I have to be more uh I can't remember, well, I can't remember the word, but it's something related to consistent. I have to keep my channel more consistent. I have to keep it going. That's where my resolution to be more productive is actually coming from. So that's where I'm looking forward to. Like, I'm actually going to keep looking forward. I'm going to start being more optimistic, more productive, break the antisocial streak, break the guilty conscience streak, and yeah, just continue on. But yeah, it'd be nice. Go ahead and leave a comment down below. Tell me like uh, what you guys think about the S mode on this computer. Like, should I just turn it off and just get all my original programs back, or should I just hold out, and until like I can either get a new computer and just stick with the games that I'm limited to. I know there are some games I can still play, but there are some games that I can't, and it kind of feels like I'm limited. But I'm actually slowly getting used to it. But yeah, I want to say, go ahead. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to see this update. Um, I've been kind of holding this in for a while, but yeah, that's what kind of been bothering me for a while, especially like with this year being like still fresh and stuff. I actually want to like continue going through this. Like, I'm trying to move on from the past and all that stuff and just focus more on the future. But once again, I want to say thank you guys for taking the time of your day to actually watch this video. It is greatly appreciated. Like I said, let me know what you guys think about the whole S mode crisis or the S mode situation in this computer at the moment. And yeah, I'll see you guys later on. Take care.